So the goal of the diversity dramatist is really to help people gain awareness about themselves, the cultures that they represent, and the pride they take in those traditions, but also to recognize that other people have very different cultures, and not all of them are ones that are treated in our society the way we would wish. They don't feel that respect is given to them. So the diversity dramatist arose from an effort for us to understand and take new lenses to look at human relationships, and then to find ways to portray that so that audiences would see with fresh eyes and open hearts.
We were at that time wrestling with the whole issue of whether we should, as a public agency, be mandating diversity drama. And we really felt that there was a lot of risk in forcing all of our employees to go through the traditional diversity training, because sometimes you can produce almost a backlash reaction. So we saw this program and we thought this looked like it might be just what would work for us, and we were able to pull it off.
The course evaluations generally are very high for the performances, and I think the audience probably appreciates having training not just done to them, but being incorporated in the training, where they are also trainers because they are sharing information, and we can all pretty much appreciate the information that they are sharing.
We're a corporation, and I think there was some skepticism about how appropriate something like this would play out in a corporate environment, and I can speak from my experience. I'm a huge fan of this program. I think it really does some remarkable things in a very efficient way. I think it is entertaining, which I think somebody touched on earlier, is an important feature of training, because the more engaged people become, the more value the training has.
I have yet to overcome some prejudice of my own. Basically, I have learned that there is more to an individual than the outer shell, that we need to realize that there is a lot involved in a person's makeup, and that we have to appreciate them for who they truly are inside and out.
I would encourage you, if you implement this within your company, to not just keep it to administration, but to encourage your employees and your new employees to be part of the troop, because the more you do it, the more you live it.
We have used the program both within the school setting and outside. We've worked with Human Resource Administration. We have a teacher whose class prepares kids for the workforce, and she invites us in each semester to come in and work with her students. And I think we are indeed working with students is the right approach to go forward and to train them, or to at least get them thinking when they're younger. That is not the majority of our audience, but when we have the audience and the need for it, we certainly do work with them, and it has been well received with students of younger ages.
I'm an 8th grade student at Western Rockham Middle School, and I enjoy doing this because it not only helps me, but it helps me teach my friends how to diversitize their ways of life.
This program is very important to me because it gives us the opportunity to change our behaviors, to change our feelings about other people. Everybody have their own dignity. Someone alone can do many things, but together we can make the difference.
The award-winning Diversity Dramatist program is a human relations training program that targets cultural stereotypes and misunderstanding of differences. The highly experiential workshops integrate diversity education and drama development in the training, preparing participants for their important work. Presenting community programs.
Well, the American Red Cross, we were approached by Terry Aiken and Charlotte Hamlin to become involved and bring diversity dramatists to the High Point Thomasville community. And so that was very exciting, because the Red Cross definitely believes in raising awareness about cultural diversity within our community. And So from that process of just meeting with them and then receiving the Z. Smith Reynolds grant to bring the program here, we got very excited, and it's happening.
Drama provides a powerful tool for exploring issues of diversity due to its ability to provide emotional distance and empathetic engagement.
I was looking around for another vehicle that audiences would engage in looking at sensitive issues without some of the barriers that I had experienced. And drama came to my mind. And I hired a professional company of actors called Metamorphosis from Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania, who came on campus and did a program on harassment for us. This was the first time I saw the model of brief dramatic scenario, facilitated audience discussion, and then live improvised interaction between the audience and the actors. And it was so powerful in opening up dialogue that I thought to myself, isn't this wonderful? And would it be possible to do that with non-professional actors who would then be able to write situations that would be unique to their own organizations, their own needs, and provide programs over a period of time instead of in and out? We call it the experience because it is a multi-layer program, one that can be used in many different settings, and tonight you will hear from some of the sponsors about the ways in which their organizations have used it.
The ongoing participation of troupe members is essential to work successfully in these different settings. From the creative process of scenario development, presentation, and discussion, trust builds among members and facilitates the diversity drama experience.
It opened up my frame of reference and also my vocabulary, things that I grew up saying certain terms, certain ways to categorize people that was never thought of it as anything that would be judgmental or harmful, but then to see how people might take offense to those things. So it makes you really think about what you're saying and how you're saying it and what impact that has on the people around you. And so just to become a lot more conscious and aware of that.
I think it gives an opportunity for people to recognize that we can affect change. It's slow, it's painful, but change can happen, and using a fairly non-threatening way to get at things that need to be examined, allowing people to make decisions for themselves rather than telling them what needs to be done and what changes they need to make.
My role as a trainer has really changed a lot for me. What has happened is that it actually has enhanced my own personal skills in working with people and dealing with diversity issues and sensitivity and being aware of sensitive issues. I've gained a lot of insight. I've used a lot of personal experiences with each session that I participate in. And taken away from that, I've developed the skills to better keep sort of a personal check on some of my issues that I may have with people or in situations.
There are 7 basic ground rules for the diversity drama training process that create an environment for open sharing and discovery. The ground rules are participation, a commitment to be involved and share ideas and responses. Respect, to listen to each person without judging or blaming. Openness, to be receptive to the experiences and perspectives of others. Confidentiality, to not share personal details of what is said and done during training or a discussion outside the group. Experiment, to be willing to try activities, ideas, and emotions that increase understanding. Speak for oneself, to speak in the first person from one's own experience and knowledge. Sensitivity, to recognize that others may have painful experiences in terms of cultural diversity and to show special consideration. This 7-fold process contributes to an atmosphere where participants can explore assumptions and principles about human relations and diversity.
During training sessions, participants work with experienced trainers who guide them through theoretical foundations of diversity drama and discussions about cultural identity. Language, culture, and communication form the basis of scenarios created to elicit discussion about diversity. 4 key elements compose each scenario: purpose, characters, action, and audience discussion. The purpose of each scenario is to highlight diversity issues that will engage audience emotions and willingness to examine their perceptions.
This scene takes place on a Monday morning in the coffee room of an organization perhaps very much like yours. Action.
Oh, I hate Mondays. Oh, coffee, give me coffee. Okay.
Coffee ready?
Oh, yeah, good morning.
Hey, how you doing, Joe?
Good, how you doing?
How was your weekend?
Great, great. How about you?
Oh, it was great, great. I did gardening,
Of course.
out in the sunshine.
Yeah, great weather for it.
It was wonderful. How about you? What'd you do?
Went shopping with my kids.
Was that okay?
It's always a dangerous event taking them out, but yeah, they were fine. Went to the toy store. Couldn't keep their cotton picking hands off of everything. They were running around like a bunch of wild Indians. It was crazy, but it was fun and a lot of good energy. Good time with the kids.
The second key element to each scenario is the creation of characters that audiences can identify and empathize with.
Well, you're a brave man.
Well, you know, it's time I can spend with them, and that's valuable.
Hey, Chris.
Oh, Chris, how you doing? Good to see you.
How you doing?
Good to see you. May I?
Yeah, it's heavy-duty stuff.
Oh, excellent. What are you guys talking about?
Just the weekend.
Oh, what happened?
Well, I went shopping with the kids, and she was gardening, and I bet I know what you did.
Guys, I went to the flea market.
What a surprise. I am amazed and shocked.
The third key element in each scenario is action. This is the dramatic enactment of a critical social incident. This serves as the focus for discussion to increase awareness and knowledge.
I went up to King, North Carolina, and found this small antique shop, and I saw this Tiffany lamp.
Oh, I love them.
That's neat. Yes, it was $100, but I jewed this woman down and got it for $60.
You did what?
Oh, I jewed this lady down and I got it for $60.
I can't believe you just said that.
What's wrong with Norma?
Chris, didn't you realize Norma's Jewish?
The final key element in each scenario is the audience discussion. A facilitator leads audience members in a discussion in which they share their reactions to the scene and the behavior portrayed in a non-defensive, personal way.
If you would have been in the conversation a little bit earlier, you would have heard Joe say cotton picking. Would that have offended you since you're African American?
It probably would have. I mean, initially is one of those words that my ears will sort of perk up to, but yeah, I would be offended by that, yes.
I guess the one I remember the most was where we had tears in the audience, where people remembered something that had happened to them 20, 30 years ago. And, you know, as they got to talking about it, they became very emotional. And to me, you know, when I think back about how powerful this tool is, I always think about that experience. So I'm a big fan, and I think we all have seen how effective it can be, and I think it's just a wonderful opportunity.
Dramatic scenarios share a similar architecture while the content and focus vary widely. This provides both novice and experienced actors the necessary organizational structure to explore controversial and sensitive issues of diversity. In terms of the diversity drama training philosophy, we grow when we can see in a new way how our attitudes and behaviors damage human relations. Drama helps us see, while empathy decreases our fear of differences. Cultural identity shapes our perceptions of others, while a lack of cultural awareness limits communication